Pedestrian dies after being struck by a vehicle. Hurricane Man heads to prison for theft and deception. And your daily weather forecast coming up with highs, lows, and everything you need to know for the days ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. An 83-year-old woman has died after being struck by a vehicle at the intersection of Pioneer Parkway and Jacob Drive in Santa Clara. For more details, here's Eric George Gould.
According to a press release, an 83-year-old woman died after being struck at the intersection of Jacob Drive and Pioneer Parkway in Santa Clara on Friday night. The release states that her next of kin has been notified. According to the release, the driver of the vehicle that struck the pedestrian was cooperative and was working with law enforcement. An accident reconstruction team was at the site for several hours after the incident.
Thanks, Eric. A Hurricane Man with a long history of fraud and theft convictions has been sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to multiple felony charges. Shandon Gail Young, 44, admitted to defrauding multiple victims across southern Utah, including an elderly woman who lost over $20,000. In total, Young pleaded guilty to 8 charges across 6 cases, including theft, fraud, and exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Judge Jay Winward sentenced him to serve up to 15 years in state prison, reinstating prior suspended sentences for probation violations. Young was transported to the Central Utah Correctional Facility to begin serving his sentence. Now let's take a look at your daily weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. In St. George, it's currently sunny with a temperature of 61 degrees. Tonight, expect a low of 35, and tomorrow, anticipate a high of 58 and a low of 28. Over in Mesquite, it's sunny at 64 degrees. The low tonight will be around 38, with tomorrow's high reaching 63 degrees and a low of 34. Up in Cedar City, it's mostly sunny and 46 degrees. Expect a chilly night with a low of 25, and tomorrow's high will be 44 with a low of 11 degrees. Region 9 basketball crowned its champions as Crimson Cliffs claimed the boys' title, while Snow Canyon's girls completed a perfect season. But the final RPI rankings left some teams with questions. For more on the playoff brackets and what's ahead for local teams, we'll send it over to Aaron Crane with your local sports update.
Thanks, Monica. This past week in sports, the Snow Canyon girls basketball wrapped up a perfect regular season, finishing 23-0 overall and 12-0 in Region 9, securing their 3rd straight region title. The Warriors earned the number 2 seed in the 4A state tournament and will host the winner of Grand Canyon and Timpanogos on February 14th. Desert Hills and Cedar also secured first-round byes, while 4 other Region 9 teams will start their playoff runs on Tuesday. Crimson Cliffs made history Friday night, winning their first ever Region 9 boys basketball championship with a 16-7 overall record and a 10-2 mark in region play. But despite claiming their title outright, the final RPI rankings released Saturday placed the Mustangs at number 7 seed in the 4A state tournament, behind both Dixie at number 4 and Hurricane at number 6. All 3 teams earned first-round byes, while Cedar, Desert Hills, and Snow Canyon all hit the court Wednesday night for the opening round of the playoffs. Now back to you, Monica.
Thanks, Aaron. Kevin Costner praised Southern Utah's landscapes as a key inspiration for his Horizon and American Saga films, expressing his deep connection to the region. St. George News reporter Stephanie DeGraw was in Santa Barbara, California over the weekend for the U.S. premiere of the second film.
Kevin Costner gave glowing reviews of Southern Utah, the location of many scenes in the U.S. premiere of Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 2, at Friday's Santa Barbara Film Festival. Costner had this to say.
I have been staring at Southern Utah since I was a little boy. Those big open spaces, those big red spaces, those flat top mesas, they thrilled me. And it defined America for me.
Thanks, Stephanie. Galentine's Day, inspired by Parks and Recreation, is becoming a growing tradition in southern Utah, with local businesses and event planners embracing the celebration. Here's Adele Park for more on how women in the community are making the holiday their own.
I like to pull them apart a little bit like this.
What's on the menu for Galentine's Day in southern Utah? Chef Louisiana Adams of the Louisiana Flava Cuisines and Event Company says women attending her Brunch of Beauty celebration are in for a huge spread of Creole and Cajun food with a side order of love.
You cook with love, you cook with great energy, then, you touch people in a way that just not duplicable.
A portion of the proceeds from the Brunch of Beauties will be donated to the American Heart Association as part of Adams' Cooking for a Cause initiative.
I wanted everything that I do to be done with purpose.
Maria Simpson, owner of Make a Scene, believes Galentine's Day should be an inclusive holiday which celebrates all types of love and friendship.
My house is decorated right now for a Galentine's that includes toddlers. So it's designed for moms that have young kids at home.
Simpson says throwing a Galentine's party doesn't have to be expensive. She suggests having a potluck so one person doesn't have to prepare all the food. Decorating doesn't have to be difficult either. Simpson recommends using items already in the home or things collected from thrift and discount stores.
If you don't want to have to spend a whole bunch of money, don't go with the latest trends or find a way to incorporate the latest trends with the inventory that you have.
Galentine's Day is typically celebrated on February 13th, giving friends and family just one more way to express their love for each other.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5, brought to you by We Win Injury Law.